everyone, welcome back to my channel where we decode the power of words, ideas, and human connection. I'm Infinite, and in today's lesson, we're diving deep into one of the most underrated superpowers of success. That's communication. Not just about what you say, but how you say it, when you say it, and most importantly, who you become in the process. If you're ready to elevate your emotional intelligence and master the subtle art of connection, this episode is for you. Please be sure to like, subscribe, and share with someone you love. And if you are interested in understanding your communication, I do have a free quiz in the description below. Let's get started.
Step into the world of infinite intelligence, where knowledge meets entertainment and brilliance. You'll find the answers to life's greatest questions. With every video we spark new obsessions. Infinite intelligence, we're here to elevate. Unlock your mind and let the wisdom resonate. We dive into the depths of the universe unknown. Infinite intelligence and knowledge is our own.
Effective communication is more than speaking clearly. It's about understanding your style, reading others, and adapting to each situation. By recognizing different communication styles, you can navigate conversations with greater empathy, resolution conflict more effectively, and build deeper connections both personally and professionally. This presentation will guide you through understanding, identifying, and mastering key communication styles that shape everyday interactions. You'll learn to adapt your approach to different contexts while developing the emotional intelligence needed for truly effective communication. All right. So, the learning objectives for this presentation is identifying the four primary communication styles. Uh, Recognizing the distinct characteristics of aggressive, passive aggressive, and assertive communication in everyday interactions. Understanding strengths and challenges, learning to the advantages and limitations of each communication style when each might be appropriate. Next, we have access to communication tendencies. We're going to develop self-awareness about your default communication pattern and emotional triggers. Last, we're going to apply styles contextually. Learn to adapt your communication approach to enhance connection, influence others, and resolve conflicts effectively. All right? So, communication beyond words. What does that mean? Verbal components. The words we choose represent only a fraction of our message. Vocabulary, pace, and volume all contribute on how our message is received. Even silence can be meaningful. Thoughtful pauses can emphasize points or create space for reflection. We also have nonverbal elements. Over half of communication happens through nonverbal cues. Body language, facial expressions, eye contact, and physical distance all convey meaning. A supportive nod, a knowing glance, or hesitant posture often communicate more than words ever could. Mastering communication requires awareness of both what we have to say and how we say it, including the messages we send out, including the messages we send without speaking at all. All right. So our first communication style is passive communication style, and I can't stand this communication style. Passive, some of the core traits with this communication style is they avoid conflict at personal cost. They prioritize other needs above theirs, suppressing true feelings and opinions. All right. So this kind of means this might be that friend that wants to speak up about something but just holding it in, and then over time they start having resentments. All right, behaviors. They speak softly, using hedge language such as maybe or sort of, avoiding eye contact, slump posture, and frequently apologizing. Don't I know it? Okay. All right. Next, we have impact. Create short-term harmony, but leads to resentment, misunderstandings, and strained relationships over time. So that one friend that winds up snapping on you and you wonder where the energy came from, that's probably because they have a passive communication style. All right. They say sentences such as, I don't mind, whatever you think is best. While in the background, they have a strong preference on what they want to do. While passive communication may appear agreeable, they often feel unheard and undervalued, leading to eventually burnout and unexpected emotional outbursts when limits are finally reached. All right. Next, we have the aggressive communication style. Some of the core traits with this style: dominates conversation. I can't stand those people that dominate the conversation. Like, you just want to hear yourself talk. But moving forward, prioritizes their personal needs above others. They focus on winnings rather than understandings. All right. Often stem from insecurity, masks confidence from high pressure environments. All right. So when you are in a conversation with these people, please understand and know that this trait comes from a insecurity. All right. And they try to cover it up by, assuming, making it look like it's confidence, and it's not. All right. Behaviors: loud tone, intense eye contact, interrupts others, dismissive of differing, differing opinions, and intimidating body language. All right. Uses absolute language like words such as always and never, and blame statements like you made me. All right, we know people like that. Are you that person? All right. So impact: may achieve short-term compliance, but damages trust, discourages open dialogue, and creates defensive response. Often leaves others feeling diminished, creating resistance rather than commitment. Sentences such as, this is completely wrong and we're doing it my way because I know best. Okay. Next, we have the passive aggressive communication style, and I don't know what's worse. I honestly, out of the three so far, I don't know which one is worse. Okay. We are looking at indirect resistance. Appears cooperative while subtle undermining. All right. We need to identify that, whether that is within you or you're dealing with somebody like that. Sarcasm and criticism. Uses humor to deliver barbs. Okay. I never seen. Okay. Deliberate delays. They procrastinate as a form of control. All right. And silent treatment, withdraws as punishment. The passive aggressive style emerges when someone feels unsafe expressing direct disagreement, but still harbors negative feelings. Common phrases include fine or whatever, or nice of you to finally join us. All right, with a smile, conveying irritation. All right. This communication style creates a confusing environment where words and actions don't align, leaving others feeling manipulated and uncertain about where they stand. Okay. Next, we have the assertive communication style. All right, starting at the top, respect for all. Balances self respect with respect for others. Clear expression states needs and feeling directly. Active listening seeks to understand before being misunderstood. Okay, hold on. Did I read that right? Seeks to understand before being understood. Excuse me. Collaborative solutions work towards mutual benefit. Assertive communication is the gold standard, characterized by I statements that express feelings without blame. I feel concerned when deadlines are missed because it impacts our team goals. Can we discuss solutions? Okay, that is an assertive. That's assertive style right there, and I can't do nothing but respect that style. I love assertive communication. Get rid of all the flim flam. This approach builds trust and psychological safety, creating an environment where honest dialogue can flourish and relationships strengthen over time. All right. I want to read it again. Respect for all, clear expression, active listening, and collaborative solutions. All right. So let's look at these communication styles in comparison. All right. So we went over with the passive, and they avoid conflict on at all personal costs. So their phrases are whatever you think is best, and it's best used when issues are true. So right now, this is like a suggestion on when you might have this style. So in context, so this is best used when you're dealing with truly minor issues and listening is priority. When you're dealing with petty situations and it's just not even, you can do that. It's petty. But if you truly feel some other type of way, don't do that. All right? All right, now we're going to go to aggressive. Forces own viewpoint. This is how it's going to be. That's it. That's all. I'm not going to say the only, but this is best used in emergencies and hard boundaries are being needed. That's the only time. Well, I'm not going to say, once again, I'm not going to say the only, but that is one of the best times it's good to have assertive communication when there's an aggressive communication when there is an emergency or hard boundaries need to be set. All right. So passive aggression, indirect resistance. Fine. It doesn't matter anyways. We all know somebody like that. So this is best used when rarely beneficial and indicates needs need for assertiveness. So basically saying that passive aggression, my words are getting mixed up today, y'all. Basically saying passive aggression is not really beneficial. It's not. Now the other two are circumstantial. Once again, emergencies or when we're dealing with petty situations. But their passive aggressiveness doesn't really work. Being agreeable, and that you feel the exact opposite, you're going to respond in some type of way, shape, or form, whether you know it or not. All right? So lastly, we have the assertive. balance needs of all. I think slash feel because how about we? Okay, I should have read that right. I think slash feel because or how about we? All right, those are things that an assertive person will say, and this is best used when in most situations to build trust and have solutions. While assertiveness is generally most effective, skilled communicators can strategically draw from styles based on context, relationship, and desired outcomes. All right. So that's why we are bringing this to our awareness, because which one this is you, we need to work on getting to assertiveness and not being, overly passive, overly aggressive, and definitely not passive aggressive. All right. Now, what is the importance of adaptability? Context matters. A medical emergency requires different communication than a brainstorming session or a sensitive personal conversation. All right, so the context matters very much so. Different audience. People respond differently based on their own communication preferences, culture, background, and emotional state. All right. Emotional intelligence. Reading the room and adjusting your approach shows respect and increased effectiveness. And varied goals. Sometimes you need compliance for emergencies. Other times, collaboration. That'll be for proper problem solving or comfort for emotional support. So those are, different goals that you should have in the background when you're having your different going in and out and adapting to your different communication styles. Okay, skilled communicators maintain an assertive foundation while flexing their style to meet the needs of each unique situation, demonstrating both consistency and value and flexibility in each approach. Get some water. Now, like I said earlier, there's a link in the description below where you can assess yourself and assess your communication style if you are not aware. So first, you're going to have a self-reflection. Think about your recent conversations and how you typically respond when you're stressed, ignored, or criticized. Do you notice a pattern in your communication? Next, we have seeking feedback. Ask trusted colleagues or friends how they experience your communication style. Their perspective may reveal blind spots on how you come across to others. Next, we have identifying triggers. Notice what situations cause you to shift from your preferred style. Do certain people or topics push you towards passivity or aggression? All right. And lastly, keep a communication journal, documenting challenge interactions noted while while noting what works, what didn't work, and what you might try differently next time. Self-awareness is the foundation of communication improvement. By understanding your default pattern, you can make conscious choices rather than reactive responses. And it took me a while to get to that point, but it is worth it. All right. Next, we have building communication mastery. Mastering active listening. Giving your full attention without planning your response. Reflect back on what you hear to confirm understanding. Notice nonverbal cues that reveal underlying emotions. Next, we need to practice clear expression. Use statements such as I statements to express feeling without blame. Be specific about observations, impacts, and requests. Aim for directness. All right. Develop empathy. Try to understand others' perspectives and emotions before responding. People have a hard time doing so. Consider their needs and concerns alongside your own. All right? That's how you develop empathy. And embrace the pause. Learn to be comfortable with silence. Take a deep breath before responding in tense situations to choose your words deliberately rather than reactively. These skills develop with these skills are developed with consistent practice. So start with low-stake conversations and gradually apply these techniques in more challenging situations. All right? So, communications in different contexts. Now, personal set in professional settings, in workplace environments, balance assertiveness with respect for hierarchy. Be clear about expectations, deadline, and feedback. Use more formal language with appropriate levels of detail, such as I've completed the report and highlighted three key findings. I recommend focus on the second point first because it offers the quickest implementation timeline. That was direct, precise, and to the point. Okay? Personal relationships. With friends and family, emotional connections often matter more than efficiency. Make space for feelings. Use more casual language. And remember that vulnerability strengthens bonds. Example, I feel hurt when you cancel our plans last minute. I was really looking forward to spending time together. Can we talk about how to handle similar situations in the future? All right. And lastly, conflict resolution. During disagreements, focus on problem solving rather than blaming. Express needs clearly while remaining open to compromise. Validate others' feelings even when you disagree with their position. And sometimes it's hard for us to do that. Such as an example, I understand you're frustrated about the delay. I share your concern about the timeline. Let's identify what we can both do to get back on track. All right, that sounds so much better than what the assertive or what the passive style could have gave us. All right. So, what are some of the key takeaways that we are getting from this presentation? All right. For communication styles, aggressive, passive aggressive, and assertive approaches each have distinct characteristics and impact. 55% of language is has nonverbal components. The majority of communication is conveyed through tone, body language, facial expressions, rather than words alone. And out of all the four communication styles, the one that is the gold standard is the assertive communicators that balance honesty, self-respect with self-expression with respect for others, leading to the most positive outcome. Are you that person? Can you become that person? Yes, you can become that person. All right. Mastering communication isn't about talking more. It's about connecting more deeply. When you understand different styles and adapt with empathy, you can gain the power to resolve conflict, inspire trust, and build meaningful relationships in all areas. Remember that communication mastery is lifelong is a lifelong journey. Each conversation is an opportunity to practice, learn, and grow your skill. You can start today by observing your pattern and making small shifts towards a more effective communication. All right. So, like I said, once again, you can click the link in the description below and you can find out what is your communication style. This is free, and this is like a little activity that you can do to start your journey on becoming a better, well, mastering your communication. All right. So once again, if you did learn something in this video, be sure to like, subscribe, and share, and leave a heart in the in the comments below. I hope you learned something from this video. And until next time, we're gonna be gold standard individuals. Y'all have a good night.